Hello, Bobcats. I'm Madelyn Agostini, and I hope you're having a possum Thursday with finals right around the corner. We are back with another Behind the Bobcats, except this week we are taking a closer look at the Bobcats behind GC360. This is a special one for us because we're saying goodbye to some of the people who make GC360 so special. So let's turn the camera to those behind it.
Gather around, gather around.
This is GC360.
No. This is a new segment. This is Behind the Bobcats.
Our first special guest is the brain and the backbone behind the station. She writes, edits, produces, and does it all. It is none other than our legendary executive producer, Ava Cortez. Ava, get out of the control room and into the studio, girl. Come on. Yay! Ava, I'm so excited to be sitting down with you today.
I know. I have never been on the other side.
I know.
In so long.
Well, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
First, I want to start off by asking you, what is your first experience with GC360?
It's actually so funny that you asked me that because it's it started that way and it's ending that way. I started in GC360 as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was interviewed, but I was interviewed on the desk.
Oh.
And I was interviewed because they were asking me about how Christmas was different in Chile because I'm originally from Chile. So yeah, they were asking me questions about that, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I didn't know that we had a studio. And I remember I talked to the executive producer at the time, Emily Smith, and I was like, hey, how can I get involved? And she was like, text me next semester, because it was the last show of that semester.
Yeah.
She was like, text me next semester, and I became a reporter, then I became PR manager, then I became news director, and I'm here.
Oh, look at you. You just do it all, don't you?
I know, I can't stand still.
And with that, obviously you're the star of the show, especially today, right? So if GC360 were a reality TV show, what do you think we would be called?
I want to say Behind the Bobcats because that's,
That's too easy. Come on. You can...
let me think. Probably giggles in the control room or something like that.
that's
because
cute.
I feel like that's what defines the team mostly. I feel like I've had deep conversations in the control room. I've cried in the control room. I've gotten good news in the control room. And so the most important things have happened there. So I feel like that's where relationships grow, if anything, in GC360.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like you said, you've done it all. You've been producer, PR manager, reporter, anchor. What would you say the biggest lesson you've learned from all of those positions, and what was your favorite?
I think my favorite, even though I love being executive producer, I think my favorite was definitely being news director. Because I really loved working so closely with the reporters and feel like when I saw a good package, a good story that I specifically mentored in, it was like, that's also my baby, you know? And also see how reporters get better over time. It's also something that I really enjoy, very personally, because it's like, you did this because I show you how to do it, and I went outside with you and I filmed with you. I helped you edit, I helped you write your script, and now at the end of the semester I see you and I see that you're such a good writer, such a good you're good with the camera, you're good editing, now you're so quick editing. For example, our producer Andrew, by the end of the semester, whenever he was a reporter, I was like, you're so quick editing, and who would have thought at the beginning of the semester, I helped you go from this to that. And so it feels like I'm leaving something to people. And I think what I've learned from the positions that I've done in GC360 has been just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Even if it looks scary. For me, I started straight on as an anchor, and I was terrified. I was so terrified. I remember I would be sitting on the desk and they would give us the count, and I was like, just trying to breathe and just trying to enunciate everything correctly. If I mess up, it's fine. Just keep going. And so learning that to adapt and to be quick as well. I feel like that's something that I really enjoyed and that I learned a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And being quick on your feet, like you said, that's so important. And so you mentioned being a reporter and your favorite being the news director. Is there any specific story or interview that you've done or helped mentored in that you just have love, like it's just your absolute favorite? Is there anyone that sticks out to you?
I can't think of one specific story. I've helped in many productions of packages.
Yeah.
But I think with that question, the first thing that comes to mind is Teresa Owen. She's one of our reporters here at GC360, and I remember the first time that I ever met with her because she was like, I just have some questions, and I was like, you got this. Like, I remember we got together, and I was like, I was trying to explain how I do things and the way that, because she was like, how do you not make it weird when you're setting up your camera?
Right.
How do you, because something that I also try to emphasize was like, they're doing you a favor, like people are doing you a favor by doing an interview with you, so be aware of their time. And she was like, how do I not make it weird? And I was like, I completely get it. That happens all the time. It happened to me. I mean, my first time I did an interview, I had a tripod that I did not know how to use. And it was a mess. Thankfully, my first interview was with a terrible professor.
Oh, nice.
So that was good. But now I see her work and the things that she does in GC360, and it's like, you're doing that all on your own. I don't even need to look. We don't even need to look at her scripts anymore. And
Ever.
It's like, you're just one of our best reporters. And it's like, I love being able to see that, which is, why news director was my favorite job out of everything.
I love that. And I love Teresa. Who doesn't love Teresa? Right?
How can you not?
She's the best. So with that said, you know that we spend a lot of time here in Terrell.
Oh yeah, we do.
We're like this. It's a family here, right? And we spend a lot of late nights. So what would you say is your go-to snack or pick-me-up when you're spending a late night in Terrell?
I think I want to say Domino's pizza because we used to get so much Domino's back then when we could afford it.
What? No.
I think that's definitely my go-to. If not, like a sandwich or something from home. I don't know, leftovers from the day before, stuff like that. You gotta adapt as the college life.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So with that again, what is your favorite memory from GC360, or your funniest memory maybe?
Oh my gosh. I think my funniest memory was actually this semester.
Oh gosh.
It was one of our first shows from the semester. I think it was this semester or maybe last semester. I can't remember. And something was wrong with the teleprompter. I don't know if you were in that show, but
Oh, no.
something was wrong with the teleprompter, and we had to fix it. We had to call Eva, who was our advisor back then, to fix it, and she thought we were on break. And she walked right behind the camera, and it's edited on the YouTube version, but in the live version, you saw her like popping in camera one, and she was like, and she like quickly like backed up. Oh my gosh! And
Wait,
you
that's
can
so
hear
funny.
the screams from the control room in here, in the in people that were mic'd up.
Yeah.
Because it was just so. I remember I threw myself on the wall because I was like, "This can't be." And it was also a show that I prepared. So I remember that was the first time that I did one of the love letters I do for Della, which has like all the media that goes on the show. Oh my gosh! But yeah, it was so.
Wait, that's when you threw yourself against the wall.
Yeah.
So there's actually going to be a behind the scenes clip in this show.
I figured, you can't not have it in there.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So if you had to pick a segment to do on anything, there's no limits, no budget, no rules, no timeline, anything, what would you choose?
I think I would stick with highlighting bands.
Yeah.
I really like that we did that. It was so fun. It was so nice. Filming everything, doing crazy positions while filming was amazing. I enjoyed that so much.
Right.
And getting to edit everything and also kind of like add things that match the personality and the vibe of the band was something that I really enjoyed. So I think if I could, I would do that, kind of like NPR style sort of interviews or
right. Because that was awesome.
That
if you
was
guys
so
haven't
nice.
seen it yet, check
on
it out.
YouTube.
Ava did a great job. All right, so my last question for you. If you could give advice to your freshman self, baby Ava, or younger students wanting to join GC360, what would you say?
I would say just do it, really. I know I said that earlier, but it's such an important thing to just, I know you're probably scared. I know you don't know anyone. I know it looks like everyone are friends already, because we are. But it's just so important to just get involved and ask questions. You don't need to know anything. We'll teach you. We'll help you out.
Right. That's so true. And if you had to talk to first year Ava, baby Ava, what would you say to her? What do you think she would say to you, seeing you now?
Oh, I think she would say, "Oh my God, that's crazy! Like, I can't believe you did all this."
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I would become executive producer. I have no clue. Yeah, but now I'm here, so it's crazy.
And you're here, and we
Yeah.
love you, and we're gonna miss you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sitting down with me, Ava.
Of course. Thank
And
you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We'll be right back after the break. GC360 is here to keep you informed and engaged.
Coming up.
Chiefs or Eagles?
Baldwin County students will share their stories as part of this 100%.
Moving on, the Atlanta Falcons are gearing up for a huge divisional matchup against again.
New atmospheres. I felt fine earlier and now I'm not.
Erin, who is doing Teleprompter.
Welcome back, Bobcats. Our next special guest is another technical operator who keeps our audio levels in check. So Bentley, I know you can hear me. Come on in here. Bentley, come take your seat, girl.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me on this side of the studio.
Thank you
I'm
for
so happy
having
to have
me.
you.
So interesting being on this side of the camera.
Right? Welcome to it. I'm so glad you're here. So to start off, I want to know, how did you first get involved in GC360?
So when I signed up for my first practicum, I went to interviews and I was interviewed by the technical director of GC360, and it was really interesting to me, and I decided to do that. So I worked for tech for both my first and second practicum.
Cool. And so what made you decide and realize that you wanted to stay around after your class credits?
It was really interesting to me. So I'm a strategic concentration, and so I'm not really around all of the film aspects of mass communication.
Yeah.
So just learning more about, the behind the scenes of a news show, it interested me a lot more than I thought it would. So I decided to stick around, and obviously just the people that I was surrounded with made it so much easier to say yes to stay.
Awesome. I love that. And so you mentioned that you're StratComm, and what are your plans for after graduation? Are there any skills that GC360 has taught you that you plan to carry on with you?
So after graduation, I am doing a marketing internship. So it is, not really parallel with, film, but it definitely, gave me a lot of skills for the future if I ever need to, know anything about the technical side. And I learned a lot with cameras and videography and editing. So I definitely learned some, valuable things I can take with me for my career.
For sure. And so how do you feel about being done with school entirely and all the assignments and tests and all that stuff?
It's very bittersweet. I don't really know my life without school, so it's going to be an interesting adjustment. I'm not really sure what to expect, but, I'm excited to, start a new path and, start the next part of my life. It's just very bittersweet is all I can say.
Right. Well, I'm excited for you. And what is your favorite part about being in GC360? Do you have a favorite memory or a favorite show that you've worked on or something like that?
Yeah, I really enjoy doing Student Media Day. I really enjoy, those late nights in Terrell for tech meetings and, just running around the hall and, filming stuff, decorating for whatever holidays and up next. And honestly, just being in the tech room and watching the show and seeing all the packages and what all the students have created and seeing it all come together is just a great part to do every week.
Yeah. So what would you say the biggest lesson that you've learned from being on the tech side of GC360?
I think problem solving. With tech, you never really know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So trying to just be flexible and work your way around, like, you know, like you might come into the tech room and something's going to be broken or something's just not going to go right or show's going to go wrong. It happens.
Right.
You just have to, like I said, be flexible and know that, you know, it's not the end of the world. You're going to make mistakes and, you know, you just got to go with the flow.
Right. Yeah. And so if you could describe your experience of GC360 in one word, what would that word be?
One word to describe GC360. I don't know. I mean, there's multiple words. I would say entertaining, memorable, friendship. You know, a lot goes into GC360, more than I thought.
Yeah.
And it's just been an amazing experience. So one of those words.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. And so if you could do any segment on GC360 about anything, what would it be?
I would definitely do, and you know, this could be biased, but I would definitely do something related to the tech room, like behind the scenes of the tech room, the conversations that happens,
For
you know,
sure.
the things we say. Again, like I said, with, you know, the technical problems, you really never know what's going to happen. And I think that'd be a really funny, entertaining, and informative video to do.
Yeah, for sure. And the tech room is always stuff going on in there, the control room, all of those buttons and stuff. I could never, but I love how knowledgeable you guys are about all that stuff. It's so cool. So with you guys in the tech room, do you guys have a group chat name, or what would your group chat name be for your GC360?
There's definitely multiple group chats.
Yeah.
The first one that comes to mind would be, I think Erin made it, or maybe Ava, but it's called Fire Department, which I feel like is very realistic to just the tech room, just trying to put out all the problems, put out the fires. So that's definitely what I would.
That's
Fire
awesome.
Department.
I love that. So I guess what is going to be the thing that you missed most about Georgia College?
I love the size. I love that it's a really close-knit community. I love Milledgeville. I really prefer small towns. But what I would miss most is just, you know, the people, being, you know, living with my best friends, coming to class and like seeing familiar faces, not only in class, but also just around campus and the city itself. Definitely don't take that for granted. Definitely, yeah. Like I said, just the people.
Yeah. And so what do you think that community at GC360, like how has that impacted your school experience, and like what has that really meant to you?
Before joining GC360, I hadn't really joined or involved myself in a lot of on-campus, you know, organizations, activities, and stuff like that. This was kind of the first time I joined something and kind of met new people. I usually just kind of, you know, I'm very introverted. I like to hang around the friends that I already have. And so joining GC360 was like a pretty big step for me to like kind of just join something knowing no one.
Yeah.
And leaving with a bunch of just great friends and just great people. That's definitely like the biggest, like I'm so thankful for it.
I love that. That's so awesome. And so to wrap it up, what advice would you give back to your freshman self or to any younger members thinking about joining GC360 or student media in general?
Just do it. It's so fun. There are so many options that there are so many routes you can take with student media. You're going to meet great people. And if I could go back, I would have joined GC360 sooner.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so glad that you joined us today, and I'm so sad that you're graduating, but thank you so much, Bentley. We miss you already.
Miss you guys.
Go, Ava, go. Huh?
Hello, here we are. GC360 going full circle. We are on the prowl. We are prowling right now together in General Hall.
3 natives of Terrell Hall entering enemy lines. Will they make it out alive? Probably not. to like run out of this time.
Welcome back, Bobcats. This special guest is actually already in the studio. So Sydney, get out from behind that teleprompter and come over and sit next to me. Sydney, thank you so much for joining me on this side of the camera.
Of course.
I'm so happy to have you. So to start off, I wanted to ask you how you got started with GC360. 360, hello.
It started off as a practicum, and basically I reached out to Ava, who's the
executive producer.
She's the executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out to her and I said, Ava, please hook me up. I need a practicum.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay. So I just went into it really not knowing anything about the news, and it's super, super cool to learn like what goes on behind the scenes. And I've ended up just doing teleprompter mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what decided to make you stay after your practicum?
The friendships. Like, I love the tech team so much, and it's just so much fun to hang out with these guys, and it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun.
Yeah, I love that. And so did you start on the tech side, or did you start reporting, or do you started on the teleprompter?
I started immediately with tech, so I never was a reporter, but sometimes like during tech nights we would be together.
Yeah, doing stuff. Awesome. And so what is your favorite memory from doing those tech nights, or even a show or something, anything about GC360?
Oh, one night there was cotton candy, and that was pretty cool. Let me think. Well, this was kind of off hours, but one time we went around Terrell and pushed each other around in rolly chairs. We went in the elevator with rolly chairs. That was a lot of fun, but pretty much, I mean, every show we have is a lot of fun, and there's new memories every single week.
That's awesome. I love the way that you worded that. That's so fun. Is there anyone in GC360 or like a group of people that you think have made a lasting impact on you?
Most definitely. Again, like the tech team, I look up to them so much. Even though I'm a senior, I look up to some of the juniors as well. Like, well, because I guess I'm graduating early, so they're technically the same class as me, and I look up to them so much. Erin, Della, Ava, specifically, like, they are my support and my like number one fans, and I love them so much.
They're the
and
best.
I've learned so much from them, and I can't imagine like not having stayed in GC360.
Oh, well, I'm so happy that you did. I love it. Is there a favorite show that you can remember that you worked on, or maybe like a story or anything that like really sticks out to you that you've produced?
Let's see. Hold on.
Anything?
There is. I was gonna say, okay, this is kind of random, but I liked that during Thanksgiving week, we decided to include everyone's favorite Thanksgiving foods.
Right, yeah.
Because that was a way to like kind of connect the anchors with the tech team. Because I feel like a lot of the times we're just behind the camera and we don't get much recognition, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
I love having you guys on this side. I have to say, it's one of my favorite things about having you guys. It really is. So you mentioned that you're graduating early. What are you planning to do after graduation?
So I started up an LLC, which is just like my own personal business.
Oh, cool.
And I'm hoping...
That's awesome.
I'm hoping to... So I'm moving back to Woodstock, which is my hometown. And I'm just going to start putting my name out there, offering to make business videos, or just if someone needs me to film something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping to do.
That is so cool. Congratulations. I had no idea. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
And so is there any skills that you're going to take from GC360 to help you with that entrepreneurship?
Most definitely. I think I learned a lot about editing from GC360, and a lot about how to make something that appeals to a wide audience. Because at GC360, we're broadcasting to the local area, and so it's important to put things out there that you're proud of and that look good, that sound nice, everything like that. So I think my expectations are higher for the quality of my work because of GC360. And also just like timeliness and getting your work done.
Yeah.
Super important. And like definitely having that show every week helped me a lot with like punctuality.
That's awesome. I love that. And this is kind of a fun one. If you had to pick any movie title or a movie that you relate your GC360 experience to, what would it be?
This is the one early. I was like, I know the answer to this one. It's The Breakfast Club. And I'll tell you why.
Gosh, please do.
With the tech nights and just like in general, our team is here at the most random times filming things and preparing for the show. And so I feel like we're here like off hours, or we're here until late hours of the night, and that's when the best memories are made. Like we kind of just like take over Terrell and do shenanigans while also getting a lot of work done. We're also having so much fun and making like these memories of the good old days.
Right. That's
that can't
awesome.
be replaced, you know?
I love it. The Breakfast Club, that is such a good choice. It's called balance, right? You have to have a little fun with a little bit of work.
Yep.
And so what advice would you give to your freshman self or to any younger members that are thinking about joining GC360?
Oh my gosh. I would tell them to immediately join. Because it literally can't hurt you to join, and becoming involved is so important. I dabbled a little bit freshman year, not in GC360, but in other clubs, and I wish I had joined sooner.
Yeah.
Because this is the place where you're going to learn those skills that you can take into the workforce.
For sure.
Like if you wanted to work in broadcasting or news, like this is the place to be. You'll learn things that will literally like be the same thing that you're doing out of college. So I would highly recommend people to join.
Awesome. Y'all hear her? Listen loud and clear. And just to end off, what is going to be the thing that you miss most about Georgia College?
Oh, my friends.
Right.
Yeah, the community. Going into like coming to school here, I knew maybe like one or two people. And now I feel like I have this whole like world, this whole web and bubble of people that I know and love to work with, and like can count on if I need help.
Yeah.
Or if I need people to help me drag in equipment into Terrell.
Right, that one.
There's always like someone I can call to be like, hey, like I'm gonna pull up my car, can you help me offload? There's always someone to like help, and I love the community that we have, especially in mass communication. So I'm definitely going to miss that the most. Also, like the professors.
Right.
I love this major.
Yeah, it's the best. Oh, and we're going to miss you so much, Sid.
I'm going to miss you guys.
Oh, thank you so much for sitting with me, and don't graduate.
I wish I could.
All right. Oh, stay forever. Bobcats, we will be right back. Thank you so much, Sid.
C3PO. Come on, Georgia College. Go GC360.
I want to move these for now.
And I'm back. Thanks, Madelyn. That's all for Behind the Bobcats and GC360 this semester. In my final show ever at GCSU. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to be here at GC360 to enjoy my time. Honestly, just like Sydney said, if I could have joined earlier, I would have. I'm so grateful for all the people that I got to meet, and I will definitely miss this more than anything else from Georgia College and from my college career. So I'm just very happy that I got to do this, and I'm very happy that Erin decided to highlight us. And I pass it on to Erin Finnegan, who's gonna be the next executive producer. And I know she's gonna do an amazing job. I'm Eva Cortez. If you want a professor, student, or staff highlighted on the show next semester, fill out the form on our Instagram. That's at GC360 News on Instagram. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you tune back in when we return in August every Thursday at 4 p.m. on NBC TV4 through the Cablecast app. But if you miss seeing our lovely faces, you can find more behind the Bobcats, Cat Talks, and news shows on our YouTube, which is GC360 News. I'm executive producer Ava Cortez, signing off.